Hi, my name is David Bass. I joined the Oklahoma Army National Guard to get money for college, and I found out I really enjoyed being a soldier. My cousin, Danny, was a Vietnam veteran who went to Vietnam when he was 17 years old. When Danny came back from Vietnam, he was really messed up in the head. Now I know Danny suffered from PTSD, but of course that phrase was never used. Danny drank and did drugs and just led a really wild life and died from alcoholism. The Vietnam War was very murky as far as why they were there, but they were never doubtful about their obligation to take care of their brothers. And so for me, the Army was a brotherhood and later a sisterhood. So I went to Iraq in 2004-2005 with the 1st Cavalry Division, and it was a very difficult year. One of our 1st Cavalry Division soldiers was killed one day on a patrol by an improvised explosive device. It blew his face off. We were under attack every day at Camp Taji from mortars and rockets, and we took a lot of casualties. One thing I noticed is we couldn't sleep. We were under so much stress and so adrenalized all the time. And so our docs gave us Ambien. And so we all became addicted to Ambien. Most of us had various injuries from our time in the military, and so we also, all of us, became dependent on pain medications that the doc would give us. When we were getting ready to leave Iraq, they cut us off from our Ambien and wouldn't give us any more narcotic pain meds. When we got home, we had access to alcohol. I started having nightmares, and I was hyper-vigilant all the time. You know, I didn't feel comfortable unless that weapon was within arm's reach. And so I had weapons stashed all over the house and totally prepared to use them too. And then you combine that with paranoia and drinking, and it's not a good combination. I was having anger outbursts, and I've always been a very safe motorcycle rider, but I was riding my motorcycle like a maniac. I realized that I should not go out into the civilian world in the mental state that I was in. I went and checked myself into the mental health clinic at Fort Hood. There's 2 types of psychotropic medications that the Army back then would just automatically prescribe for PTSD. And the side effects were so terrible, I stopped taking it. I felt like I was crawling out of my own skin, and I felt even more paranoid and said, I'd rather shoot myself in the head than take this medication. I started smoking marijuana again because I met some friends, but I noticed when I got hold of higher quality cannabis that I felt like I needed less pain meds. And I started thinking that cannabis was affecting the symptoms of PTSD, and maybe I didn't need to take the psychotropic medication. To realize that we have this plant, this herb, that has such great medicinal value for veterans, but yet at the national level it's a Schedule I drug, which says it has 0 medicinal value. That's a total lie that our federal government's been telling forever. We know for a fact that the pharmaceutical industry is not in favor of medical marijuana because in my case, I take a small amount of cannabis every evening, and that takes the place for me of 1 to 3 pain pills, an anti-inflammatory pill, a muscle relaxer pill, and a psychotropic pill. And I would have to take those medications the rest of my life. And since I'm a retired military officer, the taxpayers pay for those medications. Attorney General Sessions talks about clamping down on states' rights to have legal marijuana in the state. It makes absolutely no sense. I'm a homeowner, I'm a voter, I've been married to my wife for 38 years, I'm a family man, I served the Army for 25 years, I'm not a criminal. But if my choice is to the rest of my life take all these pharmaceutical drugs or use cannabis, then I choose to participate in civil disobedience